am but, as you would say, a cobbler.
What trade art thou? Answer me directly.
A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience, which is indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls.
What trade, thou naughty knave? What trade?
Nay, I beseech you, sir, be not out with me. Yet, if you be out, I can mend you.
What meanest thou by that? Mend me, thou saucy fellow?
Why, sir, cobble you. I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them.
But wherefore art not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes, to get myself into more work. But indeed, sir, we may call it to see Caesar, to rejoice in his triumph. Hail Caesar!
Wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings he home? You blots! You stones! You worse than senseless things! Oh, you cruel men of Rome! Knew you not Pompey? Many a time and oft have you climbed up to walls and battlements, your infants in your arms, and dare have sat to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And you now put on your best attire, and you now call it a holiday, and you now strew flowers in Caesar's way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone! Run to your houses! Fall upon your knees! Pray to the gods to interdict the plague that needs must light on this ingratitude!
They vanish, tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Marulus, go you down that way towards the capital. This way will I, and disrobe the images of Caesar, if you do find them decked with ceremonies.
May we do so? You know it is the feast of Lupercal.
It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. All about, and drive away the vulgar from the streets. So do you too, where you perceive them thick.
Forgets the shows of love to other men.
Said Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by which means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself but by reflection.
'Tis just. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I have heard from many of the best respected Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus groaning underneath this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
But Brutus, since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye, do you fear? When must I think you would not have it so?
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. Wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Honor is the story of my subject. Consider this. I was born free as Caesar. So were you. We both have fed as well, and we both can endure the winter's cold as well as you. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled tides are chafing with the shores. Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, dressed as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So indeed he did. But ere we could arrive at the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" And I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulders the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I retire Caesar. And this man is now become a god, and Cassius, the wretched creature who must bend his body if Caesar carelessly but not under. God, it does amaze me a man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world, and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I believe these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
My man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men must walk underneath his huge legs, and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable raiders. Men are sometimes masters of their fates. Folk here, Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Sound them, and don't become the mouth as well. Upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed that gives Rome so great? Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods.
Cassius, what you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this, that Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I'm glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done, and Caesar is returned.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he shall tell you what hath proceeded where you know today.
Antonius,
Caesar?
let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men and such as sleep o' nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look to him. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He is a noble Roman, and well given.
Would he were fatter, but I fear him not. Yet, if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much, he is a great observer, and he reads right through the deeds of men. Such men as he never had a heart to ease, whilst they behold him greater than themselves. And therefore are they very dangerous. But I'd rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar.
You pulled me by the cloak. Did you speak with me?
Aye, Casca, tell us what has chanced today, that Caesar looks so sad.
There was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand. Thus the people fell a shouting.
What was the second notice for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
For that too.
Was the crown offered thrice?
Aye, and he put it by thrice, each time gentler than the other, and my honest neighbor shouted,
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Castor.
I saw Mark Antony off from a crowd, yet it was not a crown, just one of those coronets. And as I told you, he offered it to him once. He put it by once, but to my thinking, he would fain have it. And then he offered it to him a second time. He put it by again, but to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. And then he offered it to him a third time, and still as he refused it, the rattlemen clapped their chapped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar had refused the crown and it almost choked him, for he fell down at it.
What? Did Caesar swoon?
Aye, at the marketplace. He foamed at the mouth and was speechless.
'Tis very light. He hath the failing sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Mary, when he perceived the common herd was glad he refused it, he plucked me open his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. But it was then that he fell. And when he came to himself again, he said if he had done or said anything amiss, for the people to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, Alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts.
And after that, he came thus sad away.
Did Cicero say anything?
He spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Well, for those that understood him, they smiled at one another and nodded. But for my part, it was all Greek to me. I can tell you more news too. Marulus and Claudius for pulling stars off Caesar's images are put to silence.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
If I be alive, and your mind holds, and the dinner worth the eating,
Good. I will expect you.
do so. Farewell. Oh.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be.
So is he now in execution of any bold or noble enterprise.
And so it is. For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their lights. For who so firm that cannot be seduced? I will this night in several hands, in at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition will be hinted at. And after that, let Caesar beware, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
Cicero, are you not moved when all the sway of the earth shakes like a thing unfirmed? I have seen tempests, but never till tonight have I seen a tempest dropping fire. Either there is a civil strife in heaven, the world too saucy with the gods and senses them to destruction.
Why, saw you anything more wonderful?
A common slave, you know him well, held up his left hand, which did flame and burn, like 20 torches joined. And yet his hand, unsensible of fire, remained unscathed. And yesterday, the bird of night did sit on the marketplace, hooting and shrieking. I believe they are portentous things for the climate which they point upon.
And the strangest book
very pleasing night to honest men.
Who knew the heavens met us so?
For my part, I have walked about the streets, submitting me unto the perilous night. And when the cross blue lightning seemed to open the breast of heaven, I did present myself, even in the aim and very flesh of it.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? Is it the part of men to fear and tremble, when the mighty God send by heralds such tokens to astonish us?
You are dull, Casca, those sparks of light that should be in a Roman you do want, or else you use not. But if you would consider the true cause, why, you shall find out these signs and portents, that heaven hath infused them with these spirits, to make them instruments of fear and warning unto some monstrous state. Now, could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night, a man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar, you mean, is it not Cassius?
Let it be who it is. Behold, the while our fathers' minds are dead, we are governed with our mother's spirits. Our yoke and sufferance show us womanish.
Indeed! They say the senators tomorrow meet to establish Caesar as a king.
I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Therein, ye gods, you make the weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, you tyrants do defeat. That part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity. Take my hand, Cassius, and I will set my foot as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now, know you, Casca, I have moved already some of the noblest-minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence.
Stand close to one. Here comes one in haste.
'Tis Cinna, I do know who might escape. He's a friend.
But Cinna, where haste you so? To find out you. Who's that? Medalist Timber?
No, it's Casca, wanting forfeit to our attempts. Am I not stayed for?
I'm glad on. What a fearful night is this? There's 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights.
Am I not stayed for? Tell me.
Yes, you are. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party.
You content. But sit up, take this paper, and look you lay it in the praetor's chair, where Brutus may but find it. And throw this in at his window. Set this up with wax upon old Brutus's statue. All this done, prepare to Pompey's porch, where you shall find us. Come, Casca, you and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire on the next encounter yields him ours.
Brutus sits high in all the people's hearts, and that which would appear offense in us, his countenance will change to virtue and to worthiness.
Him and his worth and our great need of him, who have right well conceded. Let us go, for it is after midnight, and ere day we will wake him and be sure of him.
I cannot, by the progress of the stars, give guess how near today is. Boy, Lucius! Lucius, I say. Awake, I say.
Call you, my lord?
Get me a taper in my study, Lucius.
I will, my lord.
It must be by Caesar's death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general good. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there is the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the serpent and that craves where and walking. Crown him, that. And then I grant we put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. Then, lest he may, prevent. And since the coral will bear no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is, augmented, would run to these and these extremities, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would, as his kind, grow mischievous and kill him in the shell.
The taper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper, thus sealed up.
Get you to bed. Is not tomorrow, boy, the Ides of March?
I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar, bring me word.
I will, sir.
Brutus, thou sleepest. Awake, and see thyself. Speak, strike, redress. Your ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin drive when he was called king. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and to strike? O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March is wasted 14 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate, somebody knocks. Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a hideous dream.
Sir, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door, who doth desire to see you. And there are more with you.
Do you know them?
No, sir. Their hats are plucked about their ears, and half their faces buried in their cloaks.
Let them enter. They are the fashion. O conspiracy, shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night, with evils are most free?
Tomorrow, Brutus. Can we trouble you?
No, good Cassius. I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every man of them, and no man here but honors you. This is Trebonius.
He is welcome hither.
This, Decius Brutus.
He is welcome too.
This, Casca. This, Cinna. And this, Metellus Cimber.
They are all lovely. Give me your hands all over, one by one.
Let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If these be motives weak, break off betimes, and every man hence to his idle bed. But if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards and to steal with valor the melting spirits of women, then, countrymen, what need we, any spur but our own cause, to prick us to redress? Do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise to think that our cause or our performance did need an oath.
But what of Cicero? Shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us.
Let us not leave him out.
No, by no means.
Oh, let us have him, for his silver hair will purchase us a good opinion, and by men's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said, his judgment rule our hands. Our youths in wildness shall no whit appear, but all be buried in his gravity.
Name him not. Let us not break with him, for he will never follow anything that other men.
Then leave him out.
Indeed, he is not fit.
Shall no man else be touched, but only Caesar?
Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet that Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We should find in him a shrewd contriver, which to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too blatant, Caius Cassius, if we cut the head off and then hack the limbs. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. And gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. This shall make our purpose necessary and not envious, which, so appearing to the common eyes, we shall be called perjurers and not murderers. For Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar.
Alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. Trebonius, mark you well, and draw Mark Antony out of the way in the Senate tomorrow.
I shall do it. There is no fear, Antony. Let him not die.
or you shall live in that next hereafter.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for he is superstitious grown of late.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I most like him. Let me work, for I can take his humor, the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus. And friends, disperse yourselves. But all remember what you have said. And show yourselves true Romans.
Good gentlemen, look fresh and merry. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. And so, good morrow to you, everyone.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw, cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. You ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper, you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. Some ill humor will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. You could have worked so much upon your shape, as it hath much prevailed upon your condition. I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
What? Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus. There is some ill offense in your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. Upon my knees, to charm you, by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which should incorporate and make us one, and one holds you, yourself, your hat, why you are heavy, and what men tonight had to resort to. For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia. You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know the secret? I grant I am a woman, but a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels, I will not disclose them.
Oh, ye gods, render me worthy of this noble life. Portia, let us go in a while, and by, thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the characters of my sad brow.
Heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help, oh, they murder Caesar." Who's within?
My lord,
Go bid the priests to Christ the sacrifice, and bring me their opinions success.
I will, my lord.
What mean you, Caesar? When you to walk forth, you shall not surrender the house today.
Caesar shall, Lord, for the things that threaten me never look on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they frighten me. There is one within, besides the things we have heard and seen. The Count's most horrid sight seen by the watch. Aliveness have dwelt in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds, in ranks, in squadrons, and right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the capital. The noise of battle gurgled in the air. Horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar! These things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth, For these predictions are to the world in general as to see.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never tasted death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What say the augurs?
They would not have you stir forth today. When plucking the entrails and offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Yet Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my way to keep you in the house, and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say that you are not well today. Let me, upon my knees, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say, I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home. Here's Decius Brutus now, he shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. I come to fetch you to the Senate house.
And you are come at very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators, and to tell them I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not falter. I will not come. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Does Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched my arm out so far to be afraid to tell the graybeard the truth? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, by love, stays me at home. For tonight she dreamt she saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans did come smiling and bathe their hands in it. In this does she apply for warnings and portents and evil's imminence, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision, fair and fortunate. Your statue, spouting blood in many pipes in which so many smiling Romans bathed, signifies that from you, great Rome shall suck reviving blood. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
In this way have you well expounded it.
I have more heard that I can say, and know it now. The Senate hath concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time, when Caesar's wife should meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid?
How foolish your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed that I yield to them. Servant, bring me my robe, for I will go. Good friend, come in and taste some wine with me. Then we like friends will straightway go together towards the capital.
Caesar, beware of Brutus. Take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca. Have an eye to Cinna. Trust not Trebonius. Mark well Metellus Cimber. Decius Brutus loves thee not. There is but one mind in all these men, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou beest not immortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. The mighty gods defend thee. Thy servant, Artemidorus. Here will I stand till Caesar pass along, and as a suitor will I give him this. If thou read this, O Caesar, thou mayst live. If not, the fates with traitors do contrive.
Prithee, boy, run to the Senate house. Stay not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why dost thou stay?
To know my errand, madam.
I would have had thee there and here again ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there. Oh, Constancy, be strong upon my side.
set a huge mountain between my heart and tongue. I have a man's mind, but a woman's might. How hard it is for women to keep counsel. Art thou here yet?
Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else? And so return to you and nothing else?
Yes. Bring me word, boy, if thy lord look well. For he wept sickly for us. And take good note what Caesar doth, what suitors pressed him. Hark, boy, what noise was that?
I hear none, madam.
Prithee, listen well. I heard a bustling rumor like a fray. And the wind brings it from the capital.
Sooth, madam, I hear nothing.
Come hither, woman. Which way hast thou been?
At mine own house, good lady.
What is it o'clock?
About the 9th hour, lady.
Has Caesar yet gone up to the capital?
Madam, not yet. I go to take my stand. See Caesar pass on the path.
Thou hast some suit to Caesar, hast thou not?
That I have. If it will please Caesar to be so good to Caesar as to hear me, I shall beseech him to befriend himself.
Why? Knowest thou any harms intended towards him?
None that I know will be. Much that I fear may chance. Good morrow to you. Here the street is narrow. The throng that follows Caesar at the heels. Of senators, of praetors, common suitors. A crowd of feeble women almost to death. All get me to a place more royal, and there speak to great Caesar as comes along.
I must go in. Ay me, how weak a thing the heart of woman is. Run, Lucius, and commend me to my lord. Say I am married. Come to me again, and bring me word what he doth say to me.
Antony, behold the soothsayer. The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone.
Hail Caesar, read this letter.
Caesar, Trebonius doth desire you to order read at your best leisure this his humble suit.
Oh, Caesar, read mine first. For mine's a suit that touches Caesar nearer. Read it, great Caesar.
What touches us ourselves shall be last served.
Delay not, Caesar. Read it instantly.
What, is the fellow mad?
What? Urge you your petitions in the streets? Up to the Capitol. Brutus, I fear our purpose is discovered. Just now, on our way to the Senate, Julius Caesar wished our enterprise today might try.
Cassius, be constant.
Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back. I'll slay myself.
Cassius, let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do. Untired spirits, formal constance. Look to Caesar and mark him. He smiles, and he speaks not of our purposes.
Trebonius knows his time. For look you, Brutus, he draws Margantly out of the way.
Where is the Telesymphony? Let him go and presently prefer his suit to Caesar.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Metellus and throws right before thy seat, and humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Metellus. I will not be swayed by these sweet words, low crooked curses, and base fatal fawns. For thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, desiring thee that Metellus Cimber may have the immediate freedom of the field.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar, Caesar, pardon. As low as thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement from Metellus Cimber.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting qualities there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks, and they are all fire, and every one doth shine. But there's but one, in all doth hold his place, unshaken motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show in this, that I am constant Cimber should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence, wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak hands for me!
tu, Brute? Then falls Caesar.
Freedom, liberty, tyranny is dead. Broadheads who play, cry about the streets.
Stop to the common pulpits and cry out, liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement!
People and senators, be not frightened. Fly not. Stand stiff. Ambition's debt is paid.
Timonius, where is Mark Antony?
Fled to the awesome age. Men, women, and children cry out and run, as if it were doomsday.
Fates, we will know your pleasures. That we shall die, we know. 'Tis but the time and drawing days out that men stand upon.
But he that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grant that, and then is death a benefit. So are we Caesar's friends that have abridged his time of fearing death. Stoop, Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood, and besmear our swords. Then walk we forth, even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons o'er our heads, let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty.
Stoop then and wash. How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted o'er in states unborn and accents yet unknown? So oft as that shall be, so often shall the not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty.
What? Shall we forth?
Aye, every man away. Brutus shall lead, and we will brace his heels for the best and most boldest hearts of Rome.
So, who comes here? It is Antony returned. Welcome.
O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils, shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well.
I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now whilst your purple hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years. I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no mean of death as here, by Caesar.
O Antony, beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel, our hearts you see not. They are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome hath done this deed on Caesar. For your part, to you our swords have leaded points, Mark Antony, and our hearts do receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude, beside themselves with fear. Then we will deliver you the cause, why I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloodied hand. First, Marcus Brutus, will I shake with you. Next, Caius Cassius, do I take your hand. Now, Decius Brutus, yours. Yours, good Trebonius. Metellus, yours. My valiant Casca, yours. And yours, Cinna. Gentlemen all. Alas, what shall I say? For my credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me. Either a coward or a flatterer. That I did love thee, Caesar. Oh, 'tis true. Mark Antony, I blame you not for praising Caesar so. But what compact mean you to have with us? Shall you be pricked in number of our friends? Or shall the odd not depend on you? Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends am I with you all, and love you all, on this hope, that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectre. Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And moreover, that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall.
Brutus, a word with you? Know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak in his funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which he will utter?
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first, and show the reason of our Caesar's death. What Antony shall speak, I will protest. He speaks by leave and by permission.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You shall not, in your funeral speech, blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission. And you shall speak in the same pulpit, whereto I am going, after my speech ends.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body and follow.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy, and Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc, and let's flip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth, with carrion men groaning for burial.
As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at him. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak. For him have I offended. I pause for a reply. Then none have I offended. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony. With this I depart. That, as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death. My countrymen, good countrymen, let me depart alone. And for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech, tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make.
And let us hear Mark Antony.
Yes, let us hear Mark Antony.
We'll hear him. Noble Antony, go up into the public chair.
For Brutus's sake, I am beholding to you.
This Caesar was a tyrant.
Nay, that sir, Lyceum was rid of him.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus has told you that Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously did Caesar answer it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man.
Yes.
He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept, ambition should be made of
sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak, not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am, to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his sayings.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
Mark ye his words, he would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
Poor soul, Antony's eyes are red as fire with weeping. There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony. Now mark him, he begins to speak.
Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. The will! Patience, gentle friends! I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved you.
Read the will!
I never shot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it. You will compel me then to read the will?
Yes, read the will!
Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that made the will.
A ring, stand round!
Nay, press not so upon me. Stand far off.
Room for Antony, most noble Antony.
You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. Look, in this place ran Cassius's dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. And through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stabbed, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Look you here. Here is himself, marred as you see, with traitors.
Oh, piteous spectacle!
Most noble Caesar!
Oh, woeful day! Oh, traitors, villains! Revenge! Kill! Burn! Let not a traitor live!
Where's the ghost of Brutus? Away then! Have saved the conspirator!
Yet hear me speak! Why, friends, you go to do you know not what. But you have forgot the will I told you of.
The will!
Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal. To every Roman citizen, he gives 75 drachmas.
Most noble Caesar will revenge his death! Oh, royal Caesar!
Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors and new planted orchards. He hath left them you, and to your heirs forever. Here was a Caesar, when comes such another?
Never!
Take up the body, we will burn it in the holy place, and with brands fire the traitors' houses.
Go fetch fire!
Cut down benches! Cut down boards, windows, anything!
Now let it work. Mischief, thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt.
I dreamt tonight that I did feast with Caesar, and things unlucky charged my fantasy. I have no will to wander forth of doors, yet something leads me forth. What is my name?
Yes.
Whither am I going?
Yes.
Where do I dwell?
Yes.
Am I a married man or a bachelor?
Yes.
Then, to answer every man, directly and briefly, wisely and truly. Wisely I say, I am a bachelor.
That's as much as to say we are fools if we marry. You'll bear me a bang for that, I fear.
Proceed directly.
Directly, I am going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or an enemy?
As a friend.
That matter is answered directly. For your dwelling briefly?
Briefly, I dwell by the cabin.
Your name, sir, what is your name?
Truly, my name is Sam.
Tear him to pieces! He's a conspirator!
I am Sin of the Poet. I am Sin of the Poet.
Tear him for his bad verses! Tear him for his bad verses!
I am not Sin of the Conspirator.
It is no matter. His name is Cinna. Pluck with his name out of his heart and turn it back!
Stop the criticism! Away! Go!
Stand ho!
Give the word how and stand.
What now, Claudius? Is Cassius near?
He is at hand. His servant Pindars has come with due salutation from his master.
He greets me well. Your master, Pindorus, in his own change, or by ill officers, hath given me some worthy cause to wish things done undone. But if he be at hand, I shall be satisfied.
I do not doubt that my noble master who appears such as he is, full of regard and honor.
We await his arrival. A word, Claudius. How does Cassius receive you? Let me be resolved.
With courtesy and disrespect enough, but not with such brief conferences, nor with such familiar instances as he hath used of old.
Thou hast described a hot friend coolly. Comes his army on?
They mean this night in Sardis to be quartered. The greater part are come with Cassius.
Hark! He is arrived.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, you gods. Wrong I mine enemies? And if not so, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs.
And in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience. Claudius, let no man come to our tent till we have done our conference.
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and market your offices for gold to undeservers.
I am itching, Paul. You know that you are Brutus that speak this. Or by the God, this speech were else your last.
Remember March? The eyes of March, remember. Did not great Julius bleed for justice's sake? Shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes?
Brutus, may not be. I'll not endure it. I am a soldier older in practice and abler than yourself to make conditions.
You are not, Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more, tempt me no further.
Hear me, for I will speak. Must I give way in room to your rash power? Shall I be frightened when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this I mourn. Fret till your proud heart break. Must I give way to your tested humor?
Is it come to this?
You say you are a better soldier.
You wrong me every way, Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved.
Peace, peace. You durst not so have attempted.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats, for I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius?
I denied you not.
You did.
I did not. 'Twas but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus had bribed my heart. A friend should dare his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such
The
faults.
flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony, and young Octavius, come. Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius. For Cassius is a weary of the world, hated by one who loves. There's my dagger, take it forth. I that denied you gold will give my heart. Strike, as thou didst at Caesar.
Sheath your dagger. Oh, Cassius, you are yoked with the lamb that carries anger as the flint bears fire.
Hath Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus, when grief and blood ill-tempered vexed him?
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too.
Confess so much? Give me your hand.
My heart too. Lucius, get us a bowl of wine.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Oh, Cassius, I am sick of many griefs. Portia,
What? Portia?
she is dead.
How spake thy killing when I crossed you so? Upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence, and grief that young Octavius with Mark Antony have made themselves so strong, for with her death that tidings came. With this she fell distraught, and her attendants absent swallowed fire.
Died so?
Even so,
Oh, you immortal gods.
speak no more. In this I bury all unkindness.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. I cannot drink too much of Brutus's love.
My lord Brutus, Messala is at the door and will speak with you.
Come in, Messala. Welcome, dear Messala. Now sit we close about this table of you, and call in question our necessity.
Portia, art thou gone?
No more. Messala, I have here received letters that young Octavius with Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty force, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself have letters of the self-same tenor,
With what addition?
that by order of prescription in the bills of outlawry, Octavius Antony and Lepus have put to death 100 senators.
100 senators.
I, and Cicero being one.
Cicero won.
Cicero is dead, and by that order of prescription.
Cicero. Dead.
Well, to our work alive. What do you think of marching to Philippi, President?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
This it is. It's better that the enemy seek us. Thus shall he waste his means and weary his soldiers, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reasons must, of force, give place to better. Our legions are brimful. Our cause now is ripe. The enemy increaseth every day. We, at our height, are ready to decline, and we must take the current when it serves, or we will lose our ventures.
Then, with your will, go on. We'll along ourselves, and meet them at Philippi.
The deep of night is crept upon our talk, and nature must obey necessity. There is no more to say.
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow will we rise and hence.
Farewell, dear Messala. Good night, Uncle Cassius. Lucius, get me my book.
Here is your book, master.
What, thou speakest drowsily? Poor knave, I blame thee not. Thou art o'erwatched. Lie down, dear lad, and let thy heavy eyes rest. Last I left you. Think. How ill this taper. Thou anything? Art thou some god, some angel
Some devil that makes my blood run cold and my hair to stare? Speak to me what thou art!
Thy evil spirit, Brutus,
Why comest thou?
to tell thee, thou shalt see me at Philippi.
I shall see thee again.
I at Philippi.
Now that I have taken art, thou vanishest? Ill spirit, I would hold more talk with thee. Boy, Lucius, awake.
My lord?
Didst thou dream, Lucius, that thou so criest out?
My lord, I do not know that I did cry.
Yes, that thou didst. Didst thou see anything?
Nothing, my lord.
Nothing?
No, my lord, I saw nothing.
You must bear with me, Lucius, for I am much overtired, and my mind deceives me. Go and commend me to my brother Cassius. Bid him set on his powers, and we will follow.
It shall be done, my lord.
Now, Anthony, our hopes are answered. You said that enemy would not come down, but keep the hills in the upper region. It proved not so, for their battles are in hand. They meet to warn us at Philippi here. Answer me before we command them.
Tut, Octavius, I am in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. They come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this face to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage. But 'tis not so.
What do you, Anthony? The enemy come down in a gallant show. Mark Antony, shall we hear the sign of battle?
No, Octavius, make forth. The generals would have some words.
They stand and would have parley.
Stand fast. We must out and talk.
Words before blows. Is it so, gentlemen?
Not that we look words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar!"
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown. But for your words, they rob the highways and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless.
Oh yes, and soundless too. For you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting.
Villains! You did not so when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar!
Come, look to the cause. I draw a sword against conspirators, and when you think the sword goes up again, never till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or another Caesar have eyed and slaughtered to the sword of traitors.
Thou canst not die by traitors' hands, Octavius, unless thou bringest them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on a traitor's sword.
Oh, even if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou still couldst not die more honorably.
Peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Old Cassius still.
Come, Antony, away! Defiant! Traitor! We hurl in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, will you have stomachs?
The storm is up, and all is on the hazard. Today, we set upon one battle, all our liberties.
Now, most noble Brutus, since the affairs of men rest still uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, are you contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome?
No, Cassius, no. Think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus shall go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind.
this same day must end that work the Ides of March began. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. If we do meet again, why, we shall smile. If not, why then, this parting is well made.
Forever and forever, farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true, this parting is well made.
Why then, lead on. Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known.
My birthday, as this very day I breathed first. Time has come round, and where I did begin, there shall I end. My life is run his compass. Sirrah, what news? Oh, my lord, what news? Casca's enclosed round about with horsemen that make to him on the spur, yet he spurs on. Now they are almost on him. Now, Casca! Now some dismount. Oh, he dismounts too. He's taken! And hark, he shouts for joy. Come down, you hold no more. Coward that I am to live so long. See my best friends taken before my face. Come hither, Sirrah. In Parthia did I take thee prisoner, and then I swore for the saving of thy life, that whatsoever I did bid thee do, thou shouldst attempt it. Come now, keep thine oath. Now be a free man, and with this good dagger that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom. No, my lord, no! Stand not to answer. Here, take thou the hilts. And when my face is covered, as 'tis now, guide thou the blade. Caesar! Thou art revenged! Even with the sword that killed me. So I'm free, yet would not so offend or so have done my will. O Cassius, far from this country I, Pindarus, shall run, where never woman shall take note of him.
It is for change
comfort Cassius,
Where did you last meet him?
all disconsolate with Pindarus his bondman on this hill.
Is that not he that lies upon the ground?
He lies not like the living. Oh, my heart!
Is that not he?
No, this was he, Messala. But Cassius is no more. O setting sun, is in thy red rays thou dolt sing tonight. So in his red blood Cassius's day is set. Mistrust in my success hath done this deed.
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed. O hateful error, melancholy's child, why dost thou show to the apt thoughts of men the things that are not?
Pindarus! Pindarus! Where art thou, Pindarus?
Seek him, Pasta, whilst I go to find the noble Brutus, thrusting this report into his ears. I may say thrusting it, for piercing steel and venom darts shall be as welcome to the ears of Brutus as tidings of his sight.
Hie you, Messala. I will seek Pindarus for the while. Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? Did not they put on thy brow this wreath of victory and bid me give it thee? Didst thou not hear their general shouts? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything. But hold thee, take this garland on thy brow. My Brutus bid me give it thee, and I will do his tidings. Brutus, come apace and see how I have regarded Caius Cassius.
Where, Messala, doth Cassius's body lie?
Lo, yonder, and cast the mourning him.
O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords in our own proper entrails. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. Come, therefore, and to Thasos sent his body for funeral. Meanwhile, yet ere night, we shall try fortune in a second fight. Come, poor maids of friends, rest under this truce. Come hither, good Polonius. Listen to words.
He says, my lord.
Why this, Polonius? The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me several times by night. At Sardis once, and here in Philippi Fields this last night. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I am sure it is, Polonius. Thou seest the world, Polonius, how it goes. The enemy have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy we should leap in ourselves than tarry until they push us. Good Polonius, thou knowest that we two went to school together. Even for that our love of old, I prithee, hold thou my sword hilts, whilst I run on it.
That is not an office for a friend, my lord.
There's no tarrying here.
Farewell to you, countrymen. My heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no men, but as true to me. I shall have glory by this losing day, more than Octavius and Mark Antony by this vile conquest shall attain unto. So fare you well at once, For Brutus's tongue hath almost ended his life's history. Night hangs upon my eyes. My bones would rest that have but labored to attain this hour. Hence I will follow. I could stay about. Thou art a fellow of a good respect. Thy life hath had some smack of honor in it. Hold then my sword, and turn away thy face, while I run on. Wilt thou, Lucius?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, dear Lucius. Caesar, now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will. What man is that?
It is Brutus's man. Lucius, where is thy master?
Freed from the bondage you would put him in, the conquerors can but make a fire of him. For Brutus only overcame himself, and no man else hath honored by his death.
How died your master, Lucius?
I held the sword, and he did run on.
Octavius, then take him to follow thee, that did the latest service to his master. This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only, in general honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtues, let us use him with all rights and respect of burial. Within my tent, his bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, order honorably. So call the days to rest, and let's away, depart from the glories of this happy day.